So when I started collecting classic Doctor Who, arguably for me, the Doctor that I was kind of most anxious about kind of starting with was Tom Baker's Doctor, i.e. Doctor number 4. And the reason for that is very simple. Tom Baker is the longest serving Doctor, remaining in the role for 8 years, from 1974 until 1981. And many people, quite a large majority of Whovians, actually consider Tom Baker their favourite Doctor. They consider him one of the best Doctors. So, yeah, 8 years in the role and kind of mostly adored by fan, it makes you kind of a little bit anxious, kind of, when you do kind of have to kind of get into his role, because there's kind of so much Doctor Who that he did that he's become synonymous with the role, and yeah, I was anxious about it. But as I said, kind of I ploughed on, and the final piece of the Doctor Who Regeneration collection is now complete. The final edition being 1981's Logopolis. This was Tom Baker's last story in the proper role as the Doctor. I mean, we do know that he would kind of later on pop up in the series through archive footage in the Five Doctors. There was actually a cancelled kind of event of which they would have had him return to the role in the 1990s. That's actually quite a good story to read. Look at Doctor Who: The Dark Dimension to find it. And of course, he returned for the small cameo scene at the end of 2013 to the Day of the Doctor, which was good to see him in. But yeah, his final story, or final official story as the Doctor, Logopolis, sees Tom Baker's fourth Doctor, along with his companion Adric, played by Matthew Waterhouse. They're trying to fix the chameleon circuit of the TARDIS, and in order to do that, they have to get a very complicated mathematical formula, which can only be worked out by people in the city of Logopolis. Along the way, they meet up with their old friend Nyssa from The Keeper of Traken, played by Sarah Sutton, and they also get a kind of a stowaway, or an unwieldy passenger, named Tegan Javanka, played by Janet Fielding. And of course, they also come face to face with the newly regenerated Master, who has found himself a new body after the end of his last adventure, now in the form of Anthony Ainley. Part 1 sees the Doctor and Adric trying to work out the dimensions of a 1980s police box in order so they can present the necessary numbers to the people of Logopolis. Part 2 sees them travel to Logopolis along with Tegan, who's joined as an unnecessary passenger, but obviously someone sabotages the numbers and makes it so the Doctor's TARDIS starts to shrink. Part 3 sees the Doctor trapped aboard the TARDIS and his friends trying to work out how to get him out of there, whilst also seeing him once again encounter the Master. And the final part of the episode sees the Doctor and the Master having to team up together in an unlikely partnership in order to try and help stop reality from completely collapsing. Which of course ultimately results in the Doctor's regeneration. Now, this is totally a story where I, as a viewer, may not have got the best out of it, because, as I said, I mostly went for a regeneration collection, i.e. the specific stories in which the Doctors regenerated. And with this particular story, it's really a story told in 3 parts. And I don't mean like 3 episodes, I actually mean 3 separate stories that weave together into one narrative. This was a story that should really be told across the previous episode, The Keeper of Traken, Logopolis, and the first episode of the 5th Doctor's era, Castrovalva. So viewing Logopolis on its own, I may not have got the best viewpoint out of it, but still, I viewed it for what it is, a regeneration episode, and I also think it's pretty good. This was first broadcast across from the 28th of February till the 21st of March 1981, And looking back at it, for the 80s, it's not bad. I mean, I do. There was. I do give it a similar issue to John Pertwee's last story, The Planet of the Spiders, which is that while it does look good in some places, in other parts, the computer technology, it kind of really shows the kind of limitations they had in the 80s. For example, there's a scene towards the end where the Doctor is kind of climbing atop the satellite dish in order to try and stop the Master's evil plans, and there's a part where it's kind of clearly Tom Baker in front of a green screen, and even one part where Anthony Ainley's Master kind of becomes painted on the wall in the back. Other times he is a little bit more there, but clearly the bad green screen effects do kind of cut you out of it a little. But you know what? In adding it as the final piece of my Regeneration collection, I'd actually say it's pretty good. I mean, I've seen kind of worse. I've seen Regeneration episodes that are maybe not as good as this, and some that are better than it. So yeah, I actually think it's pretty good. So yeah, having completed my Regeneration collection, I may soon do a ranking video of each Regeneration kind of from the 10th planet through to Twice Upon a Time. So yeah, I may do that at some point, but for the time being, having got and watched Logopolis, I think it's pretty good. Pretty good for the 80s, and you know what? It did well. Did its job. I mean, maybe... where do I go with my Doctor Who from here? Maybe next I go after the first episodes, like An Unearthly Child, The Power of the Daleks, Spearhead from Space, Robots, Castrovalva, The Twin Dilemma. I mean, I've already got Time in the Rani, so, and the Doctor Who the movie, so yeah, pretty much got those sorted, so just need the rest now. Anyway, that's what I thought of Logopolis. Yeah, pretty good. Got some few things that do suck you out of it, but in the end, it was Tom Baker's last episode, and you know what? He went out with a bang. Yeah, did pretty well. Anyway, until next time, see ya.